Are you noticed now in Alaska? Are you like one of the more famous people there?
I mean, Alaska
other than
is,
Sarah Palin?
There's 4 of you.
Yeah.
Something happened only a minute ago at Parker Schnabel's cabin that froze his entire crew in their tracks. The moment they stepped inside that small storage cabin near the main digging site, they felt the air change in a way none of them could explain. And before anyone could even guess what was going on, they found themselves standing in front of Parker's safe. The same one nobody ever touched unless Parker gave the word. And today, the dial felt loose, which led to a simple inspection that turned into the most unexpected discovery the crew had ever faced. Because the second a hand pressed the handle, a soft click slid through the lock, telling everyone that the safe was already open. And that alone made the crew exchange confused. Look, since Parker never left anything halfway secured, even for a second. The door moved slowly, and the faint metallic air came through, carrying dust from years of being shut tight. At first, everything inside looked normal, with shadows and empty pockets from the end of last season. But when the door fully opened, the silence in the room changed into something deeper, something heavier. Because what they saw inside did not belong to any mining operation they had ever been a part of. Sitting right in the center was a polished object, catching the dull overhead light with a cold, clean reflection that wasn't. T-Gold wasn't tea equipment, and definitely wasn't tea something Parker ever mentioned bringing onto the site. Its flat metallic surface glowed with a precision that felt personal, not industrial, and just as they tried to understand what they were looking at, their eyes were drawn to the stacks behind it, wrapped tightly in thick, reinforced material arranged perfectly, as if someone placed them with careful intention over a long period of time. The weight of each stack bent the safe shelf slightly, and the crew member who tried lifting one edge felt how incredibly dense it was, far heavier than gold bars. Their size, which immediately told everyone that Parker had been hiding something far more valuable than anything that usually passed through that safe. But before anyone said a word, someone noticed another shape deeper inside the shadows, tucked away in the far corner. A small bundle tied with a single knot, not using an old muted cloth that had been opened and retied multiple times. The fabric hugged a rounded shape inside something. Not metal, not squared, something Parker clearly handled himself, because the knot was firm and intentional, not rushed. Like everyday storage, and the crew knew instantly this was deeply personal to him. While they hesitated on whether to touch it, something thin slid out from behind the bundle and fell softly at the bottom of the safe. An envelope sealed with unfamiliar wax, holding a symbol none of them recognized. The paper was aged but carefully kept flat, as though Parker checked it from time to time, but never opened it or allowed anyone else near it. The envelope had weight to it, just enough to promise that whatever sat inside mattered more than any mining document he kept in his office. And once they placed it aside, one of the men reached deeper into the corner and felt something colder than the steel walls. He pulled out a thin protective sleeve, holding a dark metal piece about the size of a hand, with engravings sharp enough to show it was crafted with purpose, not decoration. A medallion or plate, but not from any mining company, not from any local find, nothing anyone in the crew recognized. When they searched the markings online, their faces dropped, because the exact piece appeared only once in an archive for rare collectors. A list of historical objects sold privately through high-end auctions, with estimated worths reaching several million depending on condition. And the one in Parker's safe looked almost untouched. The men stared at it in a quiet disbelief, because Parker never said a word about owning anything like this, not during long nights going over maps, not during quiet mornings weighing gold, not during any conversation across years of working side by side. And now that they saw the medallion, the wrapped stacks, the sealed envelope, and the private bundle, they realized this safe wasn't meant to store gold. It was meant to hide secrets Parker had carried alone for reasons they could not understand. The more they looked around the cabin, noticing faint dust lines, small scratches, and a forgotten key sitting in a corner, the more they understood that none of these details were coincidence. They were pieces of something bigger, something Parker arranged over time while making sure nobody ever suspected a thing. The shock wasn't the money. It was the question the discovery forced into their minds. Why would Parker hide something like this? Why keep millions in rare artifacts buried behind gold forms and metal stacks? Why seal away a letter marked with a private emblem and never tell a soul? The crew felt the weight of those secrets heavier than any ounce of gold any miner had ever held, knowing that whatever Parker was protecting was only the beginning of a story they were never supposed to witness, and that everything inside that safe was a doorway to something far larger than the mine itself. A truth that had silently waited behind steel for years, finally exposed by a loose dial and a routine inspection that changed everything forever. And as the crew stood there trying to make sense of the mysterious bundles, the sealed envelope, and the priceless artifact, they realized one thing. The real meaning behind Parker's secret had only just begun to unfold, and nothing in that cabin looked the same anymore. For more unbelievable discoveries like this, subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin and press the bell icon so you never miss an update.